Fredbear. Fredbear is one of the two original Springlock animatronics at Fredbear's Family Diner. The idea behind him is simple. In animatronic mode, his metal parts sit in the center for stage performances. A hand crank pulls those parts against the costume walls, making room for a performer inside. Fredbear can work as a machine or a wearable mascot, but the performer must stand inside the costume while the compressed endoskeleton parts are held back by spring locks. Fredbear becomes infamous during the bite of 83 in FNAF 4. The crying child's brother and his friends lift the terrified boy toward Fredbear and push his head into the animatronic's mouth as a joke. The jaw closes and crushes his skull. But there's a bigger tragedy here. We don't know for sure if this was truly a Springlock failure. Fredbear is already in animatronic mode, and nobody is wearing him. The suit never changes modes on screen. So the actual tragic part is that Fredbear might not have malfunctioned to kill the child at all. It might have been a direct consequence of people treating an industrial machine like a harmless toy, of his brother and the other bullies ignoring what the machine could do. Sounds an awful lot like the AI revolution going on right about now. Rosie Pork Chop. Rosie Pork Chop is an old Springlock pig from the Fazbear Fright story Together Forever. After being decommissioned, Rosie is donated to a school robotics class, where Jessica and Brittany must repair her. Her manual lists two settings. Suit mode retracts the metal parts for a person, and animatronic mode fills the interior with gears, rods, and sharp components. The warning is loud, and it is clear. Never change modes while the suit is occupied. Rosie Pork Chop's tragedy strikes when Jessica and Brittany turn that warning into a prank. They program Rosie to capture two younger girls, Mindy and Cindy, and force them to act like servants. Instead, a programming mistake reverses the intended targets, and Rosie grabs Brittany. Jessica changes the mode while Brittany is inside, driving the endoskeleton into place around her body. Rosie then pulls Jessica inside, and a mysterious click changes the mode again. Both girls die inside the suit. The next morning, Rosie speaks in Jessica's voice and offers to serve Mindy and Cindy. Inside the pig, the girls' damaged faces stare at each other. Really, Rosie just followed their plan to trap two people together, only with the names reversed. The programmers behind said plan end up as the victims. Can you really blame the little piggy? Spring Bonnie. Spring Bonnie is Fredbear's original stage partner and the diner's second Springlock suit. Like Fredbear, the yellow rabbit's endoskeleton retracts so an employee can wear it. But unlike Fredbear, its darkest moment doesn't come from a potential accidental failure. The real threat comes through William Afton, who realizes that children will willingly follow a familiar mascot. Spring Bonnie becomes Afton's disguise during the missing children incident. He wears the rabbit suit to approach 5 children. He then leads them away from the public dining area before murdering them. FNAF 3's training tapes later mention that the suit has been moved, warn employees not to wear it, and remind them that customers must never be taken into the hidden safe room. Those warnings come after Afton has turned the mascot into cover for a crime. The missing children haunt Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Spring Bonnie never attacks them by itself. The horror comes from a murderer using the trust built into its face.
If you've made it this far, you probably like this kind of content. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. It helps the video reach more people and supports the channel.
Springtrap. Springtrap is what remains after William Afton climbs back into Spring Bonnie and the machinery turns against him. In FNAF 3's Follow Me minigames, Afton dismantles the original animatronics. Their spirits surround him in the safe room. He sees the old rabbit costume and puts it on, convinced the disguise that once gave him control will protect him again. Springtrap is created when the spring locks fail with Afton inside. The mechanisms snap inward, forcing metal supports and animatronic parts into his body while blood pours through the costume. He collapses in the safe room and remains hidden for years, his corpse trapped inside the rabbit. The safe room becomes his tomb. When the team behind Fazbear's Fright searches abandoned restaurants for props, they find Springtrap and bring him into the horror attraction. They think they found the perfect display. They actually brought back the murderer, still able to move and hunt the night guard. Springtrap even survives when the attraction burns down. The suit begins as Afton's safest disguise and becomes the device that kills him, carrying him out as something no longer fully human.
Burn Trap. Burntrap is the damaged rabbit entity beneath the Mega Pizzaplex. He stands in a charging station inside the ruins of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place, surrounded by scorched fabric, exposed machinery, and human-looking remains. The corpse-covered body looks like Springtrap dragged through yet another fire, except this rabbit can reach into the Pizzaplex's systems as easily as Afton once reached into a costume. In the Burntrap ending, Gregory enters the underground room with Glamrock Freddy. Burntrap wakes and reaches for Freddy through the Pizzaplex network. His face appears on the monitors as Freddy's vision turns purple, showing the rabbit taking control remotely. Gregory stops him by watching the cameras and pressing buttons that ignite each room Burntrap enters. The fires force him back while the building begins to collapse. As Gregory and Freddy escape, the Tangle grabs Burntrap by the neck and drags him away. Ruin presents this ending as one of Gregory's comic drawings, placing it outside the most likely main timeline. Inside that ending, Burntrap is a corpse-covered rabbit machine built to evoke Spring Bonnie and Springtrap, connected to the Pizzaplex and capable of controlling Freddy through its network. Later mimic material leaves the exact identity underneath that rabbit shell uncertain, yet the image remains the same. The thing that looks most like Afton keeps moving after Gregory sets it on fire. Glitchtrap. Glitchtrap is the digital rabbit anomaly from Help Wanted. Unlike the other suits, Glitchtrap has no physical spring locks, endoskeleton, or body. He resembles a person in a handmade yellow rabbit costume with a purple vest, bow tie, and fixed grin. The anomaly enters the Fazbear virtual experience after developers scan old circuit boards to speed production. Tape Girl notices it moving through the game and records hidden warnings. As the player collects those recordings, Glitchtrap gets stronger and stronger. At first, the rabbit watches from a distance. As more tapes are recovered, it becomes clearer and moves closer. The player is rebuilding the same thing Tape Girl tried to contain. Glitchtrap attempts to merge with or replace the person inside the headset, and its influence later reaches Vanessa, leading to Vanny. Glitchtrap's exact origin remains disputed, although later mimic material makes a mimic-based program copying Afton the stronger current explanation, with Afton's digitized mind remaining the older theory. What we do know is that while Spring Bonnie allowed Afton to hide inside a rabbit, Glitchtrap uses a virtual rabbit to get inside somebody else. The Sister Location Suit. The Sister Location Suit is the unnamed Springlock costume used during Night 4 of Sister Location. After Funtime Foxy attacks Michael, he wakes in the scooping room trapped inside it. Circus Baby says the suit came from her old pizzeria, was never used as intended, and was considered too dangerous. Its faceplates resemble the Funtime animatronics, but the exterior is never directly shown, nor is the character given a name. The Sister Location Suit makes Michael experience a Springlock failure from the inside. Baby opens the faceplates, and his breathing and heartbeat loosen the locks. Michael must wind each mechanism while mini-renas climb across the suit. Shaking them away makes the locks loosen faster. If he focuses only on the locks, the mini-renas overwhelm him. If he moves too much, the metal parts snap inward and kill him. Every movement risks releasing the Springlock mechanisms. Baby calls the suit a hiding place, but she is keeping Michael alive for the plan that ends with him being scooped. Michael survives until the technicians arrive, but the suit creates one of the most terrifying survival scenarios in the series. Every movement he needs to shake off the mini-renas brings him closer to failure, while every second spent winding the locks lets them crawl deeper. Movie Spring Bonnie. Movie Spring Bonnie is William Afton's yellow rabbit suit in the film continuity. The movie calls him the Yellow Rabbit rather than Spring Bonnie, but the purpose is the same. Afton wore the mascot while murdering the 5 children who later possessed Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Years later, he puts it on again to attack Mike and Abby. The suit protects his body, while its loaded Springlock parts remain pressed around him. Movie Spring Bonnie fails after Abby changes the drawing that shapes how the children understand Afton. The picture shows the yellow rabbit as their friend. Abby replaces it with an image of Afton murdering them, and the spirits recognize their killer. Chica's cupcake bites into the rabbit's torso and triggers the Springlocks one after another. Metal parts drive into Afton as the animatronics watch, but he places the rabbit head back on and says he always comes back. They drag him into the safe room and keep him sealed there. In the second film, the spirits move on, leaving the room unguarded. Scavengers find Springtrap and plan to use him in a haunted attraction, making his words come true. He always comes back.